Hi friends, Concy here from atop Serenity Hill, and welcome to the intention card art journal page for September. We are, or I am, if you're playing along with me, then it is a we situation, are working through a printable that I have below for you, where I do an art journal page for every month based on this deck that I created a few years ago. I've been using the color scheme from each one, sometimes some of the designs, depending on what was on it. I've definitely used the word. This word for this month is crisp. And the good thing about it, I'm doing this in 2024. If you're finding the video in September now, then that you can use the printable for any year. It doesn't have any year on it, it just has the months. And you can also reuse the printable if you want, and then maybe just add a word to it every year so that you can build on the intentions that are set with the card. It is what I call an intention card deck, okay? And kind of, I use it, I've used it for a couple of years, and I have 2 words on each for my deck, the original deck. I now have a second word for 2024, and I'm just going to continue to build on it over the next few years. So that's just an option for you if you wanted to use it as a standalone, and you can also do it as an art journal page, kind of where your intentions want to be for the month. So I'm using this cardboard journal. You can find the link below on how to make the cardboard journal, and I've been doing it again this whole year, so I started in January. And the good thing about a deck like this is it doesn't really matter. If you find me now in September, then start in September and then just work your way through till next September. So it doesn't really matter when you find me, just start playing with art journal pages based on intention. Sometimes you could just use the word as a prompt. It doesn't have to be anything other than just fun and play. You don't have to use it for intention. You could just use it as a way to pull a prompt for colors and maybe some marks, or just use the word as a prompt. So as I like to do, I'm going to share some collage materials that I pulled. I feel like I've been doing a ton of collage for this project, and a ton of collage in general. And I'm okay with that. I'm enjoying that. This is like my season of collage and season of small journals, it seems. So I pulled images or collage materials that reminiscent of the color scheme here. Let me pull it sideways so that you can continue to see it. I have this paint chip, which is not exactly the same blue, but I love the blue, so I pulled that. I have a couple image transfers here. I'll have a link below for the image transfer lesson that I have here on YouTube. And I'm playing off the word crisp and the fact that it's September, which in the Northern Hemisphere is, starts fall weather, end of summer. So I pulled some an image transfer, which are transparent. You can see my hand through. I like the colors they went, and I like the idea of the garden, kind of like just greenery, and it's still lush, but because of the way the image transfer is, it feels almost like the end of summer, like everything is sort of beginning its time to die back. Okay, so I pull that, and then I started pulling based on this green color just stuck with me, and I had some collage materials and this gorgeous leaf. Not sure how that would work or if it'll even fit in the journal, but I pulled it. Again, the color schemes I pulled here. These are sticker sheets that I made. Again, another video here on YouTube, so I'll link that below, that went with the color scheme. More collage material. This was a jelly print I actually just pulled. This was to clean off my jelly plate, and I love it so much. I love the grunge. Some printables that didn't print well, but pulled from the same colors. I love the tree, the idea of the word crisp. Maybe I can use this tree I doodled. And that's it. That's all I have right now. And then, I might use some watercolor or some paint, some acrylic paint, colored pencils. I'm just going to start gluing stuff down and see where it goes. I always do reiterate the word. I've chosen this stamp set today to put the word crisp on, and I always add the card itself. So we'll see where it goes, and then I'll meet you back here when we're done and have a little talk about what happened. All right, let's play. So I'm not sure that I'm not sure it speaks to the word crisp, except for the very funny fact that the word crisp is not crisp and is kind of blurry and out of focus. So I actually find that hilarious and think that, you know, that makes sense. So if I was thinking through like my intention for September is everything's going to be crisp, you know, like things are going to work out well and sharp and everything's going to come into focus. This might be something for me to think about, like, is it sometimes things aren't always the way you think they're going to be, and to, you know, set an intention, but also be able to pivot and you know, adjust to what might go out of focus during the month. So that was a little more woo than art journaling, but you know, that's how I think about art journal pages. A lot of times I start with the play and then things will come up. Okay. So I tend to not start too much in emotions or in like deep contemplative things. I like play and then see what happens. And usually whatever is bubbling around in my brain or my world or my emotions will show up on the page. I started really dark, which I loved with the dark things, but then it got, you know, like this has a very light feeling to it, which I'm paying attention to. You know, also in the mode of the woo, maybe September is about being light, letting go of things. And so, you know, when I put all the dark down, it didn't feel right. I also then didn't really have a space to put my extra word, because I like to put the word twice, here and here. So I put down some white gesso, and I loved the way it just made this pop. Okay. Also pulling in the colored pencils of the colors that were missing in my collage material brought it up again. But I love the lightness of it. It has almost made me feel lighter about the month, and that's delightful to me. That's something that can come from art journaling. Is just, you know, sometimes when those thoughts come up and the emotions come up and the deep part of art journaling, sometimes it can just lighten you. And this physically lightened the page, physically lightened me how I feel. So I hope you enjoy it. I hope that you will try it yourself. If you would like your own intention card deck, remember the printable is below. And give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Leave a comment, even a heart that you loved it, or, you know, a question. If you had a question about something, are you doing this with me? I would love to know that. And again, if you have not subscribed, I would love it if you would. All right. Thanks so much, friends. I will see you in the next video.